welcome to Absolute Football Podcast's Absolutely Lower League show. It's a show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, and the National League. But there's a whole lot of football we need to get through, and I could not do it alone. So I've got a team full of really good people, and yeah, I couldn't be luckier than tonight. I've got some really good people on. So, Anne, how are you? All good?
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, apart from learning that our two best players might be going to Southampton, but yeah, well, never mind. I'm fine.
Oh, I'm glad you're all right. Claire, how are you? I know it's been a bit of a dramatic day for you as well, hasn't it, as a Stockport fan?
I feel like the day just like epitomises this football club perfectly. All good there. You can't let football ruin you.
No. And last but not least, I'm hoping you're a bit better than these two, Nick. How are you today?
Yeah,
How's life as a Swindon fan?
Well, it's all quiet on the Swindon front, so we're desperately trying to get a few more players in. But yeah, I've had a devil of a week, and I'll elaborate on that later.
Oh, we've got lots of people in the chat as well, so good evening to everyone. I'll try and get some of these comments up, but I hope you're all right, everybody in the chat. Right, first of all, should we start with the championship? And we're better to start, Sunderland. I'll let you have your say, Anne.
There was a lot better places to start than Sunderland.
We'll get this out the way then. We'll get it out the way.
To be fair, I mean, the scoreline was 0-0, but it was a very entertaining 0-0 draw against Coventry, which I would have took. I think I said that this time last week. I would have took a draw against Coventry. Very good side. Casey Palmer absolutely dominated the game, and I think we kind of came in when he went off. I'm surprised he got subbed off. I must admit, it wasn't the worst substitution, management substitutions of the week. That belongs to Eddie Howe, but less said about that, the better. But yeah, we played. To be honest, we played well, defended really, really well. Dan Ballard had a really good game at the back. And then the time that Coventry did get through, Anthony Patterson made 2 or 3 very good saves. And then we could have nicked it at the end, had a couple of chances near the end, but we're missing a striker, and obviously reading the news today, Ross Stewart's off to Southampton, so we now need 2 strikers. I think it's going to be quite an interesting day tomorrow, but no, I would have taken a point all day long. Not many teams will go to Coventry and keep a clean sheet, to be fair, with their firepower. So really, really chuffed. We're 2 games unbeaten now. We're starting to turn a little bit of a corner. Difficult game on Saturday. We've got Southampton at home, which Southampton are playing really, really well. But, I think we're kind of turning that corner a little bit after a little bit of a difficult start. But yeah, Ryan's just put in the comments there. It was a game of 2 halves, Sunderland and Coventry. I agree with that. I thought Coventry were very, very good in the first half. And then we kind of, got over that pressure that Coventry put on us and really made a really good second half. And probably if we'd had a half decent centre forward on the pitch, we probably would have won. But it is what it is at the minute, I'm afraid.
You mentioned as well, obviously, people who were linked with departing. Is there any rumours of anyone coming in? Obviously, you mentioned you do need strikers as well, but is there any rumours you think might be?
So there's a Ukrainian lad I think's due in either tonight or tomorrow called Rusin, Champions League experience. So he should be all right. 24-year-old, little bit of experience. Bar that, I think Tom Cannon was rumoured, but it looks as if Leicester are going to beat us to that. I think the problem is being a Sunderland fan, and to be honest, a Championship fan at the minute. The likes of Leicester, Southampton and Leeds have come down and, got the parachute payments. But Southampton and Leicester in particular have sold players for totaling 100 million quid. So they can throw money around this season. And I think the problem is everyone else in that league are playing catch up with them too, especially the way they throw money around. So, yeah, we don't like it, but it is what it is. So I think it's going to be, I think you're probably going to see, which we didn't want to happen. I think you're probably going to see 2 teams maybe break away over Christmas, January, where they're going to afford to bring in, make a decent squad and have squad in depth, and the rest are going to be playing catch up, I'm afraid. So a little bit disappointed with all that. I think, we're 4 or 5 games in, I'm thinking I can already see Leicester going up and I can see Southampton going up. So we'll bar that. Rumours coming in, like I said, Tom Cannon, but I think he's going to Leicester. So we probably need a striker. I think Lyndon Gooch is on his way to Stoke. I'm not bothered about that. I'm not really a massive Lyndon Gooch fan. But I think we're probably going to need another winger. But then Southampton are rumoured to be trying to sign Patrick Roberts, which would be devastating. So we'll have to say. I think it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, being a Sunderland fan. And I hate transfer window day, so we'll see what happens.
And do you think they need to do something about this parachute payment? Because you end up getting yo-yo clubs between Prem and Championship, and like you say, the rest of them are starting to get left behind. It's seems to be the same every season. You might get one that struggles, but probably two are going to go back up.
Yeah, I think it needs knocking on the head, to be honest, Nick. And the issue is, you even look at Luton this year. I mean, Luton have gone up with 100 million quid in the playoff final, and have already. It looks as if they're going to buy players to. I think they know they're going to go back down again, but the players that they're buying are players that are going to be already, good enough to win the championship next year. So it's developing into like a yo-yo league a little bit, where we're going to see the likes of, let's say Everton go down this year. Everton have got sellable assets of well over 100 million. So with a parachute payment of whatever that is, 15, 20 million, it puts 100 million better off than any other championship side that have, fought again the playoffs the previous year. So
yeah, that's right. It's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. And I don't agree with it. I mean, we went down with a parachute payment, all those years ago, and then went down again. So it can happen. But,
maybe they need to put something in place rather than stopping it full. Something like you can only get it once in X amount of time, because if you just go, it's not really fair to the others in the league, is it?
Yeah, you look what Norwich are doing. Norwich have been, living off that for the last 10 years. Going getting the money to, redevelop the squad, going down, redeveloping the squad, having a season where they maybe took it on the chin a little bit. But then when you look at them this season, they're looking very, very good. But it's going to end up being. I think it's going to end up being two different leagues, really, and it's just a shame because it's such a great league anyway. But it's becoming less competitive, I think, because it's basically Premier League boys playground to go down, get some money in, and come back up again. And that's not what it was meant for, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, completely agree. And just mentioning as well, one of the teams that did come down, and obviously we spoke a bit about them. Clare, Rotherham 1, Leicester 2. What were your thoughts about that game? Were you expecting it?
Well, Leicester are absolutely smashing it. The game with a 100% win record in the league this season. So Jordan Hugill, whatever you call it, he actually scored an early goal for Rotherham. I've watched it, played it about 12 times. It was ruled out for a bit of argy-bargy. I really think it's really soft. I don't think there was much wrong with it, to be quite honest. 12th minute, Leicester did open the score, and it was an academy product, so it's nice to see, one of those actually in the squad and doing well. So Casey McAteer headed him ahead from Rotherham. Came out in the second half, all guns blazing. So for a little while, Leicester sort of had to sustain the pressure and sort of keep him at bay, really. Ray Green put a teasing cross into the box, and on Onyedema, is it?
Say it how you like. I can never pronounce names, so don't you worry.
Yeah. Finger me, chicken me, anyway. His Hermanson in goal and made it 1-1. That point, sort of fair. Overall in the game, they had 63% possession, and to Rotherham's 8. Rotherham's only shot on target was their goal. Were finally rewarded in the 84th minute when Casey McAteer got his second. The ball was played across from the byline, a really sweet ball, but managed to cut back, and he scored. He kind of went past one of Rotherham's defenders and then scored a lovely little goal, giving them a thoroughly deserved win. So yeah, they're 100% win rate. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them. They're not unbeaten all season, but to see them up and around there come the end of the season.
Very good team, aren't they, Leicester? But Rotherham, I had Rotherham down to struggle this season. I don't know if they've not really got much, have they? They've progressively, like each season, they've struggled and struggled. I don't know if it'll definitely be their season to go down, because I think there is other teams who are weaker, like obviously Huddersfield are struggling, aren't they? There's a lot of teams down there, Sheffield Wednesday. But yeah, I do think Rotherham will struggle. What about you guys? What's your thoughts on Rotherham?
Yeah, I agree.
Totally.
Yeah, they'll be down down in the bottom, fighting to keep out of the relegation slots.
They've just not really done much, have they, recent seasons? And like I said, just the odd couple, they've just slightly got worse and worse. I know they struggled, I think, last season with quite a few injuries as well. I'm not really sure who they've signed this season and who they've really added to the team, but yeah, I think they'll definitely struggle. Moving on as well, West Brom 4, Middlesbrough 2. Another team that aren't doing very well at the moment, considering how they did last season. What's your thoughts on that, Nick?
I know, it's quite a surprise, actually, with Borough.
Yeah.
They've only got 1 point. They're sat in 22nd. And, I mean, before the start of the season, you wouldn't have expected it. So, but their game defensively, they were absolutely terrible. Yeah. I mean, West Brom, it's the first time they've scored 4 or more goals since last August, when they beat Hull City 5-2. So they're not renowned for going out and smashing teams. But I say the defending was really, really poor. And if they don't get that sorted, Borough are really going to struggle. I mean, the first goal was a classic long throw, knocked on the Kipri. Good control and finish, but he had loads of space in the middle of the penalty area, so he wasn't closed down from the second ball. Then they made it 2-0. Again, the guy breaking through from just inside his own half, Swift, defence just backed off. I mean, this League 2 defending, we've seen it time and time again in League 2, just backed off, let him just get inside the area, and he smacked it in for 2-0. And you thought, this is going to be a big score here. They did pull one back, decent goal from a guy that sounds like a coffee, if I'm pronouncing it right, Latte Lathe. So I don't know if I pronounced that right, probably not, but it reads like a coffee anyway. But yeah, a good cross from the right wing. He got a decent header to beat the keeper, so he thought, well, maybe they might get back into it. And then the third goal absolutely killed them. It was a back pass from the byline straight to the forward in the box. The keeper could have done a lot better. I mean, it was a terrible back pass, but he tried to pick the ball off of his toes instead of flying in with his body and smothering it. And then the guy was able to keep control and calm finish. It made it 3-1. And I think that really, really, really killed him. And that was Thomas Asante, who always scores, is there and thereabouts with decent goal scoring record. And then there was a red card, which didn't help for Tommy Smith. Again, stupid red. He'd already been booked. The guy goes past him and he tugs him back. And, how many times have we seen that this season? It seems to be, players aren't playing with their brains. They're just getting caught up in the game and getting stupid reds. So, I can see that continuing all season. And then penalty got them back into it to make it 3-2. Bit of a harsh penalty. The ball was hammered into the box and it hit the defender's arm. Not really much he could have done about it, but it's great if you're giving them for your team, but it feels harsh if it's against you. And that made it 3-2. And then again, poor defending. The guy got it on the left wing. Samiento just again went into the box. So thanks very much. Smashed it into the top corner. So overall, if Borough continue playing like that, they're going to stay down the bottom of the league. In West Brom, when they had the opportunities, I mean, they're in 7th with 7 points, so they're probably sitting quite pretty. So I think they're probably happy with where they are. But it's hard to judge against the way Borough play because, say, defensive-wise, they were terrible.
What do we all think's gone on with Middlesbrough? I know we've mentioned, obviously, they relied heavily on loan signings last season, and obviously a lot of them, they haven't managed to get back. But do you think Michael Carrick can improve it, or do you think he's under a hell of a lot of pressure now?
They need a good couple of days, don't they? They need a good couple of days in the window. I know that lad who they signed, that was his debut, so obviously he's going to be the Yakpon replacement. But they've got a bid in for Greenwood from Leeds, who's an ex-Sunderland Academy product, and he's very good. To be fair, he was playing bits and pieces for Leeds in the Premier League last year, so that's a good signing to get him over the line. But as Nick pointed out there, it's defensively, the attacking-wise, I don't think I'm that worried about them, but defensively, they're all over the place. I think that third goal on, if a Sunday League team concedes that, you worry, don't you? Never mind a side that are going for the Premier League. For me, I think Michael Carrick's probably under a lot of pressure now, and he needs to get that. I know they were near the bottom last year, but that was under a different manager, and Carrick took over and took them, nearly at the Premier League. And I was just saying there, Ryan just said they have signed Greenwood. That is a very, very good signing. He'll score goals.
It's got to be under pressure, really, hasn't it? Given the stature of the club.
Yeah. But
then, are they investing effectively?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they beat Bolton in the cup during the week, and that's like a massive result there. Just to take a little bit of pressure off. But they're an interesting side, Borough. To be fair, I would never expect them to be in the bottom 3 after 4 games. To be fair.
Yeah, definitely. And like last season, we've seen that he has got the potential as well, because obviously when he became manager, with the third from bottom, with second, third from bottom, and obviously they went on a really good run. But even towards the latter end of last season, they did struggle, didn't they? They went on a really good run, and then they really struggled to pick up points, and obviously dropped off a little bit. But it's a really strange one for Middlesbrough. But another Manchester United link as well, obviously McKenna, Ipswich. So that's Ipswich 4, Leeds United 3. Sorry, I'm giving him a goal. Ipswich 3, Leeds United 4. What a game, man!
What a game
that was! Unexpected from Leeds as well, because they've been struggling, haven't they?
They have, yeah. But I mean, just going back to the money situation. They went and spent £16 million on Joel Perreault from Swansea, who all he does is score goals. He's a fantastic striker. Big loss for Swansea. He's come and scored on his debut. And I think a lad who the bought spent a little bit of money on in January. Jorginho Rutter, he got his first goal for the club. This was all after an own goal, bless him, for Joe Ron. It was quite unlucky, to be fair, with that. He's got to put his foot in. It could have gone anywhere in the back of the net. But then Leeds just completely took over. As Rutter scored, Nonto scored, and he's played Premier League football. And obviously he was on I think he was on strike, wasn't he, at some point last week, saying he didn't want to play for them anymore. But obviously changed his mind. Ipswich have got to go back through Nathan Broadhead, just before half time, give them a little hope. But then I think the goal of the game was Sinisterra's goal. Really nice individual goal, really well taken. And then obviously right in the end, Connor Chapman scores to kind of make the scoreline a little bit more respectful for Ipswich. But that's Ipswich's first loss of the season, and they were 100% record up until then. Leeds have gone there, blew them out of the water, and I think just that 8-minute period where they've scored 3 goals in about 8 minutes has just won them the game. But it's like again, they're spending money wisely, Leeds now, and looking to be a very good side. So that's probably kicked them up the table a few positions, and we'll see what they can do for the rest of the season.
Do you think they're turning a bit of a corner now, Leeds? Do you think, obviously, they've had a rocky few months, haven't they? And obviously, they've now, as we said, they've got the win. Do you think it's kind of turning a corner, or do you think they're still obviously going to struggle this season? What do you think their expectations are or should be?
If you're going out spending 16 million quid on Joel Perreault, I think you want to be into the playoffs at least. like I say, I think the top two will be difficult for them. Just for the amount of money Leicester and Southampton are spending, but they're spending money as well. I think they've had a 10 million quid bid for a Celtic lad rejected in the last couple of hours, so they've got money there, so that they're obviously going to spend it. I expect to see them in the playoffs, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And just another flick through all the results now. We'll have a quick look at the ones that we didn't speak about. So Hull City 1, Bristol City 1. They're doing all right, Hull, aren't they, to be fair to them? They're doing better than I thought this season. Obviously, it's still early days, but good point. Obviously, Bristol City, I think they're one of them teams. I never know what they're going to do, Bristol City.
Need to get rid of the manager. I think they need a better manager, to be honest. Bristol City.
Do you reckon?
I think he's outlived his shelf life there, to be honest.
Yeah. Birmingham 2, Plymouth Argyle 1. Birmingham, they're doing really well at the minute. They're picking up some really good points, aren't they? Especially against Plymouth. Plymouth are an all right side as well. But since the takeover, Birmingham have been doing really, really good. Good win for them. Cardiff City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Were we expecting this?
Probably.
I think Wednesday will struggle this season.
Yeah, they are struggling.
Obviously, we mentioned Coventry 0, Sunderland 0. Huddersfield 0, Norwich 4. Away from home, Norwich. Good win for them, but I was expecting that as well. I think Huddersfield really will struggle this season. I know they've still got Warnock as manager, haven't they? But I think they have struggled the last couple of seasons now, and I think it is quite a high possibility that they could be going down as well. A lot of the Yorkshire teams, isn't it?
It's a shame because obviously Warnock did so well last year, came in and turned them into quite a good side, and they're just not backed him in the window. They've ended up selling players and everything. So it's such a shame.
In the
and I think
side of the
probably his last job in football, to be fair, because he's getting on a bit. I think, but bless him.
I know. He come out of retirement for this as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Last season was like coming out of retirement. You obviously had Hodgson, didn't you? Warnock, there were a good few of them. Millwall 1, Stoke City 0.
That's probably a good win for Millwall because again, Stoke are one of those sides that you don't know what you're going to get week from week. So probably that's a decent win for Millwall.
A very good point. Very good win. Even I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know what I'm doing today. Preston North End 2, Swansea City 1. What's going on with Swansea? I know we mentioned obviously losing players, but obviously they've lost a manager as well, so you can't really.
Preston are doing well as well, though.
They are.
They've had a good start to this season, so it's probably a bad time for Swansea to face them, given what's going on there.
Definitely. Have they still got Ryan Lowe as their manager, Preston?
Yeah.
Good manager. Really good manager.
You're right. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Just Swansea going through that transition period with Michael Duff coming in, losing Russell Martin. They've got to change the whole way of the play with what Russell Martin was doing, and then they've just lost Joel Perreault as well. So it might be a season of taking on the chin, I think, for Swansea. But I hope they don't rush into sapping Duff, because I think Duff's a good manager.
Do you think with Swansea, they'll finish mid-table-ish, or do you reckon you could be down there?
No, I think they'll be lower to mid-table. I think.
Yeah. Obviously, we mentioned Rotherham 1, Leicester City 2, Southampton 2, QPR 1. Were we all expecting this one?
Yep.
Yeah, we're all in agreement.
Anya.
Definitely. I thought, do I ask the question? And I thought, do you know what? Might as well. And then obviously we mentioned West Brom 4, Middlesbrough 2, and Watford 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Are Watford sacking the manager yet?
But that's far away.
I know.
A really good result for Blackburn, that.
I think they could be a bit of a dark horse, Blackburn. I think they're going to be good shape for playoffs, definitely. And they had went a bit mental in the cup, didn't they?
Scored 8 something, wasn't it? 8-0 last night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently they had 9 shots on target. The keeper had a rating yesterday of 2.3.
Oh dear.
I love it. Let's have a quick look now at the table as well. So, no shock. At the top, we have Leicester on 12 points. Second is Norwich on 10 points. Third, fourth, fifth, and 6. We have Birmingham, Southampton, Preston on 10 points and Ipswich on 9th. Then we have on 7 points West Brom, Hull and Blackburn. 6 points we have Stoke and Millwall in 10th and 11th place. Then we have Coventry, Leeds, Bristol City all on 5 points. Watford, Plymouth, Cardiff and Sunderland all on 4 points. QPR on 3 points, Swansea City on 2 points, Rotherham on 1 point, just above relegation. And then we have Middlesbrough and Huddersfield on 1 point, and Sheffield Wednesday, bless them, down at the bottom on 0 points. Oh, you've got a feel for him, haven't you, bless them?
It's going to be a long goal season for a minute.
It is going to be a very long season. Right, League One. I need to get my notes up because I cannot remember what games we were doing. How unorganised am I? But yeah, Clare, Lincoln 3, Blackpool 0. What's going on with Blackpool at the minute? They're a bit hit and miss, aren't they? They'll pull out a result and then the next week they'll get a battering. What's going on with Blackpool?
They have had a big start, and actually, I think they're without a win since the opening day of the league. So it seems like they're going through a bit of a shaky start as well.
Yeah.
Rainy, miserable day in Lincoln as well. It was pretty, to be fair, but at least we got it stopped before the game started, and we didn't ever. So in only the 6th, Lincoln were awarded a penalty. Danny slotted that penalty home to give them the lead. It was a really silly penalty to give away. Like, guy was like right by the edge of the penalty area. There was just no need to do it. Be a bit frustrated if you're a Blackpool fan watching that. Anyway, in the 30th minute, Ethan Erhahon. It's very weird names on purpose. Erhahon capitalised on some really poor defending, and he first and Lincoln's second. So it was actually his first ball. So good for him. It did take a bit. But then in the 72nd, Oliver Norburn made a really ill-timed tackle to see Lincoln awarded their second penalty of the day, and off for a second yellow within 2 minutes for that challenge. Bit of a silly 2-minute spell for him. So the penalty scorer Mandrio had already gone off the pitch at that point. So Teddy Bishop's got and scored that, making it 3-0 to Lincoln. They are still of the season where they lost at Bolton. They're really well. They wanted to give Blackpool the possession because that's Blackpool's game. They just kind of hit Blackpool on the counter. Blackpool had 65% possession, 40 were on target. Lincoln's defence were absolutely solid throughout the match, and though Blackpool did have quite a lot of and they never really looked like they would score on Saturday. So a good win for Lincoln. Shaky start to the season for Blackpool. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but I do think Lincoln will be a good little.
Yeah, Ryan mentioned as well. He thinks they're going to be a dark horse, Lincoln.
Yeah,
got a really good team, haven't they, together? Blackpool, I think they were always going to be a bit hit and miss. Obviously, new league for them, isn't it? Obviously coming down, they're adjusting and stuff as well. I think they've lost some players due to injury. I think this players coming back from injury. I know Jake Beasley, who used to play for us, is one of them, coming back from injury as well. But yeah, I I think both teams will do pretty decent this season. Even Blackpool, to be fair, I think they'll be pretty solid.
I don't think they will. I
Do you
think
not?
having looked at their results this season, I know obviously we've had a bad start as well. We've got just as many wins, but don't know. I think it wasn't only the results that they've had so far. They looked really. They're making stupid challenges. They're giving players far too much space. That's something you see quite often in League. And I know at least I will be discussing that in a bit. But it seems like maybe they're not quite there at the back. So signings planned, I did have a look to see. I couldn't find any like rumours or anything really. So if they don't bring someone in to strengthen that defence, they could be in for a bit of a long old. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I think they got Jerry Yates. Did he go at the end of last season, or I think at the end of last season? Who's a decent goal scorer. We had him with us on loan, and he had a good partnership with Owen Doyle. But Yates is gone. I think he went to Swansea, I think. But yeah, you sort of lose players of that calibre. And like you say, it's the same thing. If you don't strengthen and try and push on, you either get stuck in a bit of a rut, or you sort of end up going the wrong way down the leagues.
Yeah. He did go to Swansea, Jerry Yates. Yeah, if you're losing someone, I mean, he was one of the top scorers in the league last year.
Yeah,
the side that got relegated. He had a very, very good season.
Good player. Good player.
And once you lose a player like that, it is going to take a while to re-establish yourselves, isn't it? So I think they'll be all right. I can't say. I don't think they'll go up. But...
Yeah, Mr. Luke here, he says one of his friends is a Blackpool fan, and even though obviously they've had a shaky start, he's still confident, but obviously they will do all right this season. I think it all depends, really. There's a lot of good teams as well in League One, to be fair, at the minute. I say this about every league, Bob. I said it about the Championship. It's so competitive, isn't it? But I think, obviously, because there's more money, obviously, going into these sides now, even League Two as well in the National League, like, there's a lot of competitiveness in football, and it's really, really good. But obviously, a team that have been doing really well recently, but struggled this time last week. Peterborough 2, Derby 4. What's your thoughts on this one, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, they're fairly even teams. They both won 3 and lost 2. Peterborough 10th, Derby 8th. And funny enough, Derby seem to have a problem at home. They played 3, won 1, lost 2. And away, played 2, won 2. So they seem to be quite happy on their travels at the moment. So maybe they've got a bit of a problem on the home ground. Whether it's the pressure that gets to them, probably expectations are high. So if they can sort that out, say they're just in 8th position, just outside the sort of playoff places, obviously early in the season. So it's something they need to look at. It's another cracking game. To score 4 goals away from home, you would expect to win, which they did. Again, some not the best at defending. They went 1-0 up. Forward lost his defender in the box. Good cross. Then he had a fairly simple tap in for the cross. That was for Peterborough. Johnson, Clark, Harris. Now, there's always lots of rumours about Peterborough selling players, and that's his 2nd goal of the season. And I had a look at his record. Last season, he got 27 and 48. And the season before, 31 and 45. So I'm sure there's going to be clubs looking at him. And he is a bit of a beast. So I wouldn't be surprised if he moves on. And Peterborough, it's sort of their model, isn't it? They bring players in, improve them, and then sell them on for decent profit. So I'll be surprised if he doesn't move. got it back to 1 each. Again, a similar goal. Good cross from left-hand side. Forward lost his marker in the box. Nice little side foot goal from Waghorn. His first of 3. Went 2-1 up. A cross from the right. Again, I must be getting all the bad defenders in my little goes. And another cross from the right. 3 defenders around the forward who beat them for the header to make it 1-2. So and what they're doing, I don't know. They were just static. So if you've got a forward who's got good movement in the box, it looks like there's going to be plenty of goals in this league. Waghorn made it 3-1. Long range shot helped on. He was sort of in line with it, not obstructing the keeper. So long range shots, and he just sort of flicked it on its way, and had got the goal there. Good striker's instinct, and 4-1 again. Another good move, and Waghorn picked the ball up in the box. A lovely guided finish, sort of bent it round the keeper for his hat trick, and then Posh pulled one back, block shot. Keeper saved it, but not much he could do when the follow-up was smashed into the net by Poku. So it's, I think defending is what a lot of clubs need to look at the moment. So they're not doing great, but it's great for the fans, isn't it? You know, a 4-2 as long as you're on the winning side, which is what you want. So yeah, another 6-goal game, which is great.
Oh, I love it. I was just about to say about the defending. I think the only team we've spoke about was Lincoln and praised their defence. Everyone else have been like, awful defending. I think that's just
like
football.
Nick says, though, as long as it's not your team, it's
That's
perfect.
right.
Team, it gets a little bit annoying.
I get that completely. This season, don't get me wrong, not as bad last season. Awful. So I completely get that. But what are we thinking for both of these teams? Do you think both teams will finish higher up in the table? Do you think they'll get playoffs, any of them? Or
I think Derby have got a good chance of playoffs.
Yeah.
You got a player like Waghorn who got the hat trick. If he gets a service, he's always likely to score. Say Peterborough, depends if they keep their players before close of play tomorrow. I think that's going to be the key for them. And also what I forgot to mention is poor old Darren Ferguson got sent off, but that's a shame, isn't it? I don't know what
for mouthing off. Probably mouthing off, wasn't it?
What, a Ferguson mouthing off? Never.
Oh, love it. Oh, funny times. And then obviously the last one we're going to preview is Exeter 2, Reading 1. And what's your thoughts on this game, if you have any?
I do. Exeter on fire. Exeter are absolutely on fire this season.
Are.
You know, nearly second in the league. And I think if you'd asked all of us when we did that preview show that we did a few weeks ago now, I don't think we would have had Oxford and Exeter top of the table.
Nope.
You know, 2 teams with X's in, so there we are. But no, they're playing really, really well. And you know what it is? They've got such a good home form, and it got them promoted, didn't it, Nick, out of their division a couple of years ago, the league.
Yeah, they're always really hard side to play it down at their place. It's a newish ground, but it's pretty compact. They've set it up really well, and they are hard to beat down at their place. Plus, teams have got a fair distance to travel, certainly if you come from up north. So that's always not great for the away side.
It's a ground that it makes the pitch look smaller than what it is. You get a little bit like claustrophobic, don't you? I mean, and Reading have obviously gone. Obviously, Reading are used to playing in the Championship, playing Championship grounds. I remember seeing this when Swindon went down, about 4 or 5 years ago. Now that the smaller grounds, like your Scunthorpes and places like you don't get used to it. It takes some adjusting, but Exeter have done that to their advantage, obviously against Reading on Saturday. Almson giving them the lead with quite a nice goal. To be fair, he's their captain, isn't he? Nice little header across the goalkeeper, very nice goal. Reading then equalised, just into stoppage time. Always the worst time to concede, isn't it? Just before the half-time oranges are coming. With I think it's Jordan Nibbs. I think it's not Harvey Nibbs. I do apologise. He scored after a little bit of a howler from Sweeney, the Exeter centre half. I think he fell over, bless him, and Nibs went in and scored. And then
another defender making a mistake.
Another defensive error. Yeah, we've picked them, haven't we? and then Reading looked as if they were going to win it. You know, they had two very good chances through Femi Aziri. Really should have scored. I think he hit the post, which was unlucky, but then there's a chance he gets a couple of minutes there and he's got to score there. And he doesn't. He's nowhere near it, to be fair. Puts it wide. He's got to score. And then, you know, in the 90 plus third minute, how many times are we seeing these late goals now with all this added on time? You know, another Cole, not Devaney for once. It's Reece Cole for Exeter. I'm not sure if they're related or not, but yeah, last minute winner. Exeter second in the league, flying high. You know, the good times are there. I think it's St James's Park, isn't it? That they're at. So
yeah,
you know,
it is.
Yeah.
St James's Park. Never mind that one in the Premier League.
No.
I was going to say there's a bit of arguments in the chat about which is a real St James's Park.
Yeah, it's Exeter's 100%.
I might be wrong here, but is that Brackley's ground?
St James's as well.
I think it is, you know.
It could be.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm haunted by that place, but I don't know if I've forgotten.
I love it.
I think Craig's just put in the chat there. Yeah, Andy Carroll's last game for Reading because I think he's getting sold. He's going to be at St James's Park, considering he started his career at St James's Park. But I don't know who's going to take a chance on Andy Carroll. He's a bit of a risk, isn't he?
No, there's a rumour he's going to France. Last thing I read. I mean, there's lots of rumours that Swindon were looking at him, but that's, I think, the last person we need, to be honest.
Ryan said as well that Exeter have just lost a striker to Rotherham. I'm not really sure which one. But
all right, okay. No, I haven't read that one.
Yeah, that's not very good, obviously, if that is the case, because obviously it's annoying, isn't it, when you do so well in the season and your best players obviously end up getting bought. It's so frustrating.
We said just while we were chatting before we came on air, Charlotte, it needs to stop this transfer window when the season's 5 weeks old. Just finish it the last week of July. What's the issue? You know, I don't understand it at all. I really don't. And
wasn't it changed because of the European transfer window?
It was to go in line with it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, I mean, the problem is I highly doubt, you know, any of our sides.
Well, no, it wouldn't affect us
anyway. But I don't think any of our sides are going to have players going to Saudi. But Saudi doesn't end until September. It's just,
it's crazy.
Just finish it all. And it's just so harsh when your team's had a really good start of the season, and then
actually
you're losing players. Like I say, this Exeter striker has gone to Rotherham. How are Exeter going to recover from that? I just think it's unfair, to be fair.
I'm just laughing at this chat. Lisa's comment has really made my day. Oh, that's really made my day. But I know it is annoying. I was saying as well to you, wasn't I, off air? Like, obviously, I've not been that bothered the last few transfer windows because obviously we've been quite bad. But now it's got to a point where I'm like, oh, no, we're doing a little bit well. Please don't, ruin it for us. But,
you'll be over the moon now, though, won't you? Because there's no transfer window in the National League, so you can just sign players whenever you want. Bring that back. Bring that.
I know. The only problem is if someone comes in for our players because we're doing all right at the minute.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it is quite good for obviously the National League aspect because obviously people like us, we've not got the biggest budget and we do rely heavily on loan players and things like that, free agents. So hopefully if that is quite good. If obviously we do struggle with any injuries, at least that's always an option for us. But moving on to the rest of League One results. So Bristol Rovers 1, Wycombe 2. Were we expecting that?
No, I'm going to say no, but I think that's a massive result for Wycombe. And, you know, I think Matt Bloomfield struggled since he's gone there. And, big win for them because they were struggling near bottom mid-table, weren't they? So, but Bristol Rovers haven't had a great start. And Joey Barton might be feeling the pinch a little bit.
Yeah. Weird result, that weird one. Burton Albion 1, Bolton Wanderers 1. Good point for Burton. Really good point because they're struggling, aren't they? Bolton have been flying as well, but obviously they've hit a bit of a rocky stage the last couple of games, but great result for them. Cheltenham 0, Northampton 1. I think that's another really good win for Northampton. Really good win. I think they beat Peterborough as well last week, was it? So
it was 1-0 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple of really good wins.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will know this from League Two. That's what they were known for last year, wasn't it? To get out of the league, they were winning a lot 1-0.
Yeah, good old. Oh no, it's not Steve Evans, is it? No, sorry. Yeah, Northampton. Yeah, they are always have been a difficult side to beat, and they will grind results out, which is certainly what you need to do in League One.
Yeah, definitely. We obviously mentioned the Exeter game. Fleetwood 0, Shrewsbury 1. Fleetwood are really struggling, aren't they? Really struggling. I think they'll go down this season. I actually had them in my predictions as well, which I never get right. But yeah, they're really, really struggling this season.
And if you can remember, Charlotte, our dark horse, Shrewsbury, and they're doing all right. Yeah. I'm all over the moon with that.
To be fair to Shrewsbury, they're one of them teams, aren't they, where obviously I think they're too good for League Two. And obviously League One, they've kind of sustained themselves, haven't they? They've been in there for quite a good few seasons now, haven't they, League One?
They have,
yeah. Decent team.
I think we've got 2 sent off as well, so it's not a great deal.
Leyton Orient 2, Cambridge 0. What do we make of Leyton Orient?
Seems that it's taken a while to get used to League One. That is actually a very good win.
Very good.
Yeah, I think they'll. I don't think they'll be down in the bottom half of the league. I can see them sticking around halfway. Wellens is a decent manager as long as he keeps his cool.
Yeah.
Completely agree. He's got quite a temper on him, hasn't he? Like he can, once he's rattled, that's when obviously the problem. Yeah. We mentioned Lincoln City and Blackpool. Oxford 2, Charlton Athletic 1.
Yeah, and it's the end of Dean Holden as well. He got sacked after the game. And I did say this time last week, Charlton fans, I just really feel sorry for you with having that clown in charge. In charge of the club, Salmon Pants, and it's already happening where there's a lot of anger against Charlie Methven for that. I think Dean Holden's a great manager. I really do feel sorry for him. I think he's been dealt a terrible hand.
How bad the reputation is at the minute when you've got Dave Challoner to.
I mean, the issue with
I don't mean that disrespectfully to Dave Challoner, but you're looking at a manager who's had a terrible start to the season, the opportunity to go and manage a bigger club in League One. So, yeah. I was a bit surprised.
I think for Charlton fans as well, what might be worrying is Charlie Methven brought in Lee Johnson for Sunderland when Phil Pattinson got sacked. And Lee Johnson just got sacked on Sunday. So it wouldn't shock me in the slightest if he ends up going to Charlton. Which, to be fair with Lee Johnson, he's called Streaky Lee for a reason. You either win or you lose. There's no middle ground.
Yeah. No middle.
Not at all. It'd be interesting. I know we've got Graham, haven't we, in the chat, who speaks quite a lot on this. It'd be interesting to see who he actually wants as manager. It's his team, isn't it? I do feel sorry for the fans of Charlton Athletic. I've got to be totally honest.
It's who wants to actually go at Charlton as well at the minute, because I just think they just, like we mentioned, obviously from the hierarchy, it's not good at all, is it? And obviously it's rubbing off on the pitch now. And who would actually want to go to Charlton now, because they're not going to be safe in a job? I think they're not really going to have the time to obviously build something, because sacking managers, it's awful to see. It really is. And I just hope they can pick it back up.
And the bother is as well that whoever they get in isn't going to be able to sign players until January. So they're stuck with what they've got in for 3 months. Might as well just stuck with Holden, right?
Oh, let's have a look at the chat as well. So obviously Graham's put a sad facts, Claire. Oh, bless him.
Sorry, mate.
Charlton are becoming another Watford. Saying it's literally going to be riots if that happens. We're interviewing everyone, it seems. I'm scheduled Monday at 10. Bless him.
All the best.
And we've got Mr. Luke saying Darren Moore is free.
He won't go.
Have you not seen, though? He's the favourite to go see York.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
His favourite to go where? Sorry, I misheard that one.
York City.
Yeah,
Is he?
York.
Darren Moore.
Yeah.
Oh, York.
Oh,
Well, you
we're
think that.
we're that massive now. We've got rid of 2 managers. When we played Eastleigh, they sat their manager. So obviously we beat them. There's a fly again. I'm thinking it's that same fly from last week, and it's doing my head in. And then obviously York sat their manager as well. So Gillingham aren't massive. It's Rochdale that are massive. I'm gonna clip that, Scoots. Give it another month and I'll be crying live. Moving on as well, we've got Port Vale 1, Carlisle 9. I'm getting excited now. Carlisle United 0, Stevenage 0, Portsmouth 0. That's a good result for Stevenage, I think. There's been a lot of rumours of Steve Evans, isn't there, being linked with? Is it Hibs?
Hibs.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll go.
No,
No.
I don't think he'll go Scotland. And I hope Hibs have got a very good fitness manager there, because obviously Steve Evans isn't going to train anyone in fitness. So I like Steve Evans. I've got to be honest. I quite like him as I think he's a horrible manager for opposition teams to go to. But he does a job everywhere he goes, doesn't he? He does. Results,
he does. Yeah. It's so annoying as well, isn't it? Playing against the Steve Evans team, it's so infuriating. Yeah. That's one thing you can't fault him for. And obviously, Wigan Athletic 0, Barnsley 2. I think Barnsley needed that win, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Really needed that
Definitely.
win. Been struggling, haven't they? I think we all had high expectations, obviously, from last season, and seeing them obviously do so well. So we all had high expectations. Wigan have been on a bit of a run, haven't they? Since obviously the point deduction, you can't fault them. Had some really good wins, but obviously on the day, Barnsley were a stronger team. At the top, it's nice to see this. I don't know how long it's going to last for, but in first place we have Oxford United on 12 points.
That is not nice to see, Charles.
I'm just being nice for now, because I don't think it'll last long. So we'll give them the moment. And then in second place, we have Exeter City on 10 points. In the playoffs, they're all on 10 points. We have Bolton, Lincoln, Stevenage and Port Vale. Then we have Portsmouth, Derby, Cambridge, Peterborough and Shrewsbury, all on 9 points. 12th spot, we have Barnsley on 7 points. 13th, we have Northampton on 7 points and Wickham as well in 14th spot. 15th, we have Blackpool on 6 points. Reading and Bristol Rovers both on 5 points. Leyton Orient on 4 points. Charlton on 3 points. Wigan Athletic, they're in plus now on 2 points. And then in the relegation, we have Carlisle, Burton Albion both on 2 points. And we have Fleetwood and Cheltenham at the bottom, both on 1 point. Right. Where do we start first? Do you want to speak Stockport, Claire?
I might as well. Good old Nick can then get the mood back when I hoover it.
Yeah. And then we'll all laugh at Gillingham. Sorry, Gills fans, just for Scoots.
Yeah. So what a weird week it has been. Having picked up our first win of the season against Barrow. Quite excited, thinking that, we might potentially be able to now kickstart our season. But yeah, it didn't really work out. So we had a game plan that worked perfectly well in the first half. Allow Mansfield to have as much possession as they wanted, hit them on the break, knowing that the same amount of injuries as us, but they're worse off for it because they're back. So we did take a really early lead through a really Barry. That was in the 6th minute. Maris levelled on the 14th minute, following pretty unmarked opportunity. But then on the 25th minute, Fraser Horsford was ahead from a very nice, sweet corner. I was happy. Obviously, we all were with corner for once. None of those short corners. We didn't actually play any of them on Saturday.
Me.
You saw that clip? I tagged him in it.
They must have listened to you.
What happens in the second half? You would not believe it.
No.
Mansfield only go and take a short corner. Davis Keeler Dunn gets absolutely acres of space. Akil-Wright backs off. And yeah, he scored from a short corner.
No.
Absolutely unacceptable. So it just shows. And yeah, I was furious because we needed to make a change already at that point because the game strong, and Ben Hinchliffe was keeping us in it. So that opportunity for Charlie to mix things up, and we really did need to. It's just just didn't happen, and continued to make some cracking saves. I kind of realized if his distribution was better, then he would absolutely playing in League 2 now. He would be much higher up the football chain. Yes, Luke. But yeah, that shot take a deflection, so it's not like, and it shouldn't have gone in, to be fair. Ben should have done better with that one, but it. And in the 80th minute, Davis is given acres of space, and instead of closing him down, Akil-Wright seems to be doing all the time at the moment, and just lets him carry on running at him, just lets him keep running. And to be fair, he scored a really lovely goal to put him 3-2 up. Mansfield had 63% possession on the day. They also had a massive 8 shots, 11 on target. Shots with only 3 on target, but there was opportunity for us as well. Half when we were 2-1 up, their keeper comes out to clear, missed it, that Christy Pym, and there's no cover at the back. Louis Barrier's got an open goal to shoot at, and he pulls. So had we gone 3-1 up, you like to think that it might have ended better. Disappointed me was how we did control the game in the first half. Though they had shots, they were tame shots, they were block shots, shots that went wide, and we just let them far too much in the second half without making a change, which was really, really frustrating. We do have 9 injuries, so I feel like we do have to cut a little bit of slack. And today we have signed a kid from previously Exeter, is meant to be like solid, really, really is so highly rated. Only 19, but he's 6 foot. And we are really needing backup in defence. And we've signed an 18 as well that captained Swansea's academy last year. He also got their academy. Apparently is a ball player, and they're both ready to play, which is from the quotes. Obviously, on season long loans for the remainder of the season. Obviously, as we mentioned a minute, Dave Challoner was given permission to talk to Charlton. He only signed a 3-year contract in the summer. The 3-year contract was a Barnsley in the summer. So League 1 clubs to remain at Stockport County. He'd only turned down Charlton for family reasons, but I don't buy that because he could have stayed at home and gone to Barnsley.
Yeah.
So I don't believe But although I don't know that, it's just it's just a theory. I am growing more concerned. I'm not worried. I think we will turn it round, just like we did last season. And should we be, we'll actually be 4 points ahead of where we were this point last season with 9 injuries. We do have positives. Kyle Wootton is today. He took part in his first grass session after coming back from his operation.
Some player he is.
Absolutely outstanding. I do think they'll be up for our fans because I'm not expecting us to sign anyone else. Are crying out for that striking prowess. So I think we're all going to be a little bit disappointed. Financial fair play and Chadwick. I'm glad Billy Chadwick's doing well.
Any outgoings as well, Claire? I know obviously you mentioned about people incoming. Have you had any outgoings, obviously, in this transfer window?
Yeah, so just Ollie Crankshaw joined Altrincham in the last couple of days.
I saw that. That's a good signing for him.
I don't think he's good in this league.
Yeah.
I think he's very, very, very good in maybe the National League North, but I don't rate. I mean, he's all right in the National League if you're not a team looking to go top part of the playoffs. I don't. Obviously, memories is that goal against Bolton in the FA Cup. I don't know if you've seen it a couple of years ago. Great night at Edgley Park. Ethan Pyer's getting game time. He looked I don't know, there's just something that doesn't seem right at the minute. And our fans are getting really, really frustrated. Obviously, start the season badly. We did the season, we won the National League. We generally do start the season badly, but it can't be. And I think, though he has Barton, I do think Dave Challoner is under pressure to turn it around, especially the level of investment that we've had from our owner. You can't level of investment and not see a return for it. So yeah, and I know that we'll come good because we've got the squad to come good. It's just kind of effectively fixing what's going wrong, and it doesn't seem like we have got plan B. Well, we don't have a plan B.
Yeah.
We just don't have a plan B. Plan A, it don't work. We still carry on with plan A.
Yeah.
So it's really annoying.
But
really at least one of us in League 2 is happy.
I know. I really hope it improves. It's like you said, it's so frustrating, and especially when obviously you've seen what you can do last season. You've got the quality of players, and there's so many injuries. And yeah, I honestly really do hope it improves. Let's speak to the happy one now, Nick.
Wow, what a good day. Well, my third game to talk about with 6 goals in it. That is hence my saying I had a devil of a time, so I've got 666, the old devil's number. Yeah, it was. We're playing against their old manager, Scott Lindsay, and to be fair, the first 15-20 minutes it was reasonably even, and they should have got in front. They had a slice through our defence, and at times we play such an open game that we are always going to give gaps. And the guy went into the penalty box, squared it, and Ozzy was all on his own about 14 yards out, and he just leant back and clipped the top of the crossbar. Should have scored. It looked easier to score than not. So that was a bit of a let off for us. And then we settled into the game. Kemp scored the first one, a nice little move, pushing in, played a 1-2 with Young, went into the penalty area, hit a left foot into the near post. Keeper left in no man's land, and 1-0 at half time. And we're thinking we need an early goal second half just to put it to bed. And Jake Young did that straight away, cut into the box from the left hand side, beat the keeper at his near post, which I'm sure any keeper won't be happy with that. And then he scored a hat trick in 13 minutes. Got a second one on 51, third one on 60. Both set up by Kemp, going into the box, laying it off for Young to score. A couple of good goals. And he got a fourth, 71 minutes. Good cross from the left-hand side. And again, talking defending, he got between three defenders to head it in at the far post. I mean, they were just so static. I think they just lost it by then. And then after that, we could have had some more. But actually, just before, when it was 1-0, again, because we're so attacking at the moment, we had a corner. Ball fell to their player on the edge of the box who broke. And then they had a 2-on-1. And instead of laying it off, when our keeper plays like a sweeper keeper, he was backpedaling like hell to get back into his penalty area. And the guy, if he'd have just squared it, he'd only had to roll it into the net. But he shot, it hit it wide of the post. So they didn't help themselves when they had good opportunities. You know, wouldn't really have chances. And then we got the 6-1 on 99 minutes to sort of round the day off. But it's interesting with talking about stats. I was just looking at the stats. We had 55% possession and 17 shots to their 14. The difference was we had 10 shots on target to their 3. So our finishing was clinical. The worry for us is Kemp and Young are both on loan, our two best players. And it's like, we know what's going to happen in January. Certainly, Bradford will call Young back.
Though, Mark Hughes has an issue with him, doesn't he?
Yeah, well,
get away with it if Mark Hughes is still there.
If he's still there, that's the issue. If he's not, I can't see us keeping Kemp. The good thing that's happened this week is Jack Payne's gone on loan to Milton Keynes, MK Dons, which is where we've got Kemp from. So that we might better keep him or even buy him now because they're very similar players. So it seems a strange thing that they've done, but he just didn't fit into their system for some reason. So, and he's been our best player by a country mile. He's absolutely brilliant. So, so I think that's in recent times that's our third player to score 4 goals, all in the second half. Who was the other player that got the last 4? Oh, that would be Charlie Boy.
That was a low blow, that, Nick.
I know, it was, wasn't it? And then we had Collins, who come on as a sub against Portsmouth in the second half, who scored 4. So we do it occasionally. My big worry now is last season we beat Mansfield 5-2 at their place. And then we went and lost to Colchester the next game, who were terrible. We got Doncaster Saturday, who were bottom of the league with 1 point. And it's like, the only good thing is hopefully they're tired legs after the Everton game. But for me, that's probably about the worst team we could go and face away after winning 6-0, because you could just see us losing 1-0 or 2-1. And that'd just be a disaster if we did so. But that's football, isn't it? You know, you just don't know.
Yeah, it happens to everyone, doesn't it?
It does.
At least you're having some nice wins.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we dropped stupid points because obviously we're you'll show when you show the league table. We're 8th with a game in hand, just 4 points off the top. But I think what we're saying about all the teams, you really got to look at it after 10 games, and then you'll get a good idea who's going to be there or thereabouts. Obviously you always get one coming through the pack, but I think it'll give you a good indication after 10 games where you're likely to be.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's transfer deadline day as well tomorrow. Is there any incomings, do you know of, or any outgoings, or do you think you need to improve any positions?
Yeah, we need another centre half because we played 3 at the back.
Yeah.
And we're going to have bookings, suspensions. We've got one who's out for another 6 weeks, I think, injured, our other centre half, and then we got a 19-year-old is the 5th one who come through the academy. We need a defensive central midfielder. Apparently from the paper today, the manager said he's looking for 4 players, but he thinks it's more likely to be 2 or 3. So if we can get a couple in, forward line, we haven't really got a problem. We got probably 4 decent forwards, and a young kiddie coming through who scores tons of goals in the academy, who might get a run out. So from that point of view, and if we carry on like we did Saturday, with 5-5 at Wrexham and 6-0 at home. So goal scoring's not a problem at the moment. Yeah. It's just we can keep it tight.
I remember the last time we all spoke, Nick, and you were concerned about goals this year, and it's kind of changed. It's knocked it on its head totally, hasn't it?
Yeah, Young's come into the team because he didn't at the start. He wasn't expected to start, but Hepburn Murphy got injured, who's a decent player. And Young's come in and taken his chance. He scored it. I think he scored it Forest Green. I might be wrong now. I can't quite remember. But he scored 2 at Wrexham, and obviously he got 4 on Saturday against Crawley. So it was good. It was real. It's more defensively. At one stage, our left-sided centre back was in the Crawley's left-hand corner flag. So what he was doing there, God only knows. But that's just the way we've been playing. We have attacking centre backs, and it does leave us open if they're a good counter-attacking side against us. And the keeper, I said, he plays sweeper keeper, and I'm sure he's going to get lobbed at least once this season from the halfway line. So, but it's fun, which is what you want. After the last 2 seasons, it's absolutely. Yeah, if the season finished now, I'd be happy.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I love that. Right, the last game we're going to preview, and I'm going to ask you all a question. Are Gillingham massive? Because what's going on?
Oh, dear.
And I'll let you answer that question. Drop you in it.
Yeah, I mean, Colchester United apparently massive. Wow, who expected this on Saturday? Obviously, no. Gillingham had the worst possible preparation. Obviously, a few of the players involved in a car accident, and hopefully they're all fully recovered. I think they all played, didn't they, on Saturday? So obviously it wasn't too serious, but really bad preparation. But looking at we always talk about coupon busters, don't we? That was a massive coupon buster. Obviously, Colchester, who without a point prior to kick-off, scored like 3 goals in 18 minutes, wasn't it? It was in the second half, and I think looking at half time, I thought, Gillingham are just going to do what Gillingham do and get a 1-0 win, and then just Colchester just completely blew them away in the second half. I think Gillingham should have been 1-0 up. I don't know if you've seen the highlights, but I think it's Tim Dieng misses a very, very good opportunity, and he's got a score there. His ball comes in, he's cleaning with the goalkeeper, just has to head it either side of the goalkeeper, hits it straight at him. And then, like I say, second half, Colchester just decide that they've turned it into, a really good team, which I don't think it'll last most of the season. Kelleher, Tavid, and Ion Vin. If that's wrong, I think that is massively wrong. So it's not just you two who get the really bad pronunciations on this one. Give me a hard one, and
we need to make it a game. We should do our own little game segment about pronouncing names. That should be funny.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just to compound Gillingham's misery, Ethan Coleman, who just come on as a sub, gets sent off for a bad tackle. Not a great day for Gillingham. Not a great day for our man Scoops think he's obviously gone home and ripped a couple of tops up or something and threw his guitar down in the stairs because we haven't heard from him since. But if Scoops, if you are alive and you're still with us, we love you. It's one swallow does make a summer. One, you're going to lose games, and I still think we'll be there.
That's why I'm worried about Saturday's game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say it happens, doesn't it?
It does, and obviously you two, all three of you really, Charlotte being League Two side last year. You do see this happen sometimes in League Two, don't you? Where it's the hardest league to probably predict any wins because it's just so open sometimes. And you see, Crawley got a great result at the start of the season, and they've had some cracking results. They beat Bradford, MK Dons.
Yeah.
So that's two fantastic wins. I think all last season, I think there was probably about 18 teams that were looking to get in the playoffs, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Win 2 games in this league, and you zoom up the league, lose 2, and you're getting perilously close to the bottom. So, we said it earlier that every league in the EFL is a fairly even and difficult league to get out of. It's what if you want promotion, that is.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Nick.
Oh, sorry, you cracked up there, Claire.
Sorry. So, what's it like to win 2 games?
It's good. It's good. Especially who we beat, Forest Green, which are their favourite team, and our ex-manager's team. So it's cracking.
Even I can answer that question, Claire, because we have. It's not like us. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Right, we'll have a look at. We'll stop there and we'll have a look at the results now. Now I got that one in. It's not very often I get to say.
Yeah, but winning's overrated anyway.
Definitely, I agree. We thought that last season too. AFC Wimbledon 1, Forest Green 1. Obviously, we've got Barrow 1, Wrexham 1. I think that's a good result for both teams.
Yeah.
Barrow are doing well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Doing really well. Peter Wild, what a manager. What a great manager.
Mm.
Bradford won a game. Bradford City 1, Crewe Alexandra 0. I don't know what it is about Crewe, but last season, I didn't find them that good when obviously we're in the league. I'm not one to judge, so can't really judge anyone. But I think they're a very funny team, Crewe, and I think they will struggle this season. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I do think they'll struggle. Yeah. Obviously, Gillingham 0, Colchester 3, Harrogate Town 2, Morecambe 0. Harrogate have been one of them teams. They've pulled out a few decent wins, haven't they, so far this season? But I just don't know how long they'll be able to do it for.
Yeah, and
Especially
obviously
if they lose
0 last night.
Armstrong.
Yeah. It's a really weird one, aren't they, Harrogate? And didn't they get battered as well? Didn't we mention that? Was it Blackburn?
Yeah. Blackburn did them. Yeah. So I mean, I know it's only a cup game. They probably expect to lose anyway, but that's a hammering, isn't it?
That is a hammering.
So,
especially at home as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Obviously, we meant. I love it. Obviously, Mansfield 3, Stockport County 2, MK Dons 2, Doncaster Rovers 1. I mean, MK Dons are doing decent, aren't they? But Doncaster, I really do not know what to make of Doncaster.
No,
I think they've just got too many new players.
That is true.
They played really well last night against Everton, though. For 70-odd minutes they were in front, and it only took Everton to bring 26 million quid striker on. And that's what got them through, to be fair. So I wonder if Doncaster see that as the turnaround of the season. They did play very well last night.
Yeah, Everton was so... I watched the first half, and Everton were absolutely
terrible. Yeah,
they were really bad, weren't they?
They're awful, aren't they? Really awful. Doncaster as well. I feel like they've signed a lot of young players that have obviously I know we've got George Broadbent. We had him a couple of seasons ago, and he was from Sheffield United, but their academy. So I feel like they've signed a lot of younger players. So obviously there's a lot of pressure on them. They need to fit in and stuff. And I don't know really what to make of Doncaster. They've had a few they've had a few very strange seasons, haven't they, Doncaster?
They'll turn it around, but I think I don't know, like maybe season, if you get too many players, it does take a while for it to gel. So
yeah, completely agree. Newport 3, Sutton 1. Newport are on a bit of a roll at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah,
they really are picking up some points. Yeah, they really are. I had them as one of the teams to, I wouldn't say get relegated, but I had them to struggle and be quite down there. But at the minute, you can't fault them at all. They're picking up some good results, but it's not as if they're just scraping it. They're scoring goals, aren't they? They're scoring quite a lot of goals.
Yeah, I thought they would struggle this season because there seem to be a lot of issues going on at the club, with internally and with players. But yeah, fair play. Like you say, they've done really well.
What do we make of Sutton as well? Because to be fair, they've done all right. Since they came up, they've obviously sustained and stuff. Do you think they'll still be able to sustain themselves this season? Do you think there's worse teams to go down this season, or do you think they'll struggle?
No, home form will keep them up.
Yeah.
At home, they're hard place to go there.
Yeah. Notts County 2, Tranmere Rovers 1. Were we expecting that? I think. Tranmere, I don't know what's going on with them at the minute. They've under the new manager. I don't know if he's the right man. I don't really know what to make of it. Notts County, obviously, they're always going to pick up results, aren't they? I predicted them out of them and Wrexham. I predicted them to be higher out of the two.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah. I agree with that.
Completely agree.
Yeah, it's just whether the goals out, because Notts County, their style of play is very attacking. And they do tend to have slip-ups at the back. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do lose a few games with quite a few goals. But I do think they'll be up there. I think they will be up there.
Completely agree. Salford City 1, Accrington 2.
That's a cracking result.
Great result, yeah.
Brilliant result. Brilliant result. What's going on with Salford? Do you reckon they'll have a mid-ish season? I don't know what to expect with them.
I reckon they'll be in and around the playoffs. Maybe just miss out.
Yeah.
They don't seem to have strengthened like they have play.
Didn't they knock a decent side on the cup this week? So
Leeds on pens, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, we did a pitch invasion. I remember everyone was like calling them
a pitch invasion of about 5 people.
I love it.
Can we put pitch invasions on the banned list with short corners and parachutes?
Yeah.
It's just so
unless you're winning the league. I find it.
Yeah. With me, it's if we actually defend a set piece, I'm running on that pitch. That does not happen. Honestly, every goal we concede is always from a set piece. It's so annoying. So as soon as we actually defend one, I'm straight on that pitch.
Has anyone actually pitch invaded in this group? Because I honestly haven't. I'm 37.
I have when we got promoted. Obviously, because it was known as a Rochdale division, never seen a promotion or anything before. I tell a lie as well. We did when we got to, obviously, when we beat Darlington and got to the playoff final against Stockport, we pitch invaded then as well.
Yeah, so, I went on the pitch when we won the National League, and 36 weeks pregnant. So I'm there trying to So I think I went just past the goal and then came back off again. But we beat Salford on penalties. Everybody was on the pitch, and I went on the pitch then.
Love that. Have you done a pitch invasion, Nick?
No. I'm at the back of the stand, being a moaning old git, saying, "Get off the bloody pitch. Let's see the players."
Tier 1 for the Salford pitch invasion.
It's just me and you, Claire. We're bad influences.
Yeah. Ban them women from football.
I know. That's it. Bad influence.
Bit of a riff-raff.
Craig Bradley's just put one in the chat there. It went on for Carlisle when Jimmy Glass scored. I mean, I'm not a Carlisle fan, but I think if I was at the game when Jimmy Glass had scored, I think I probably would have pitched and voted. Goalkeeper keeping them up on the last kick of the season.
Yeah.
Fair comment. That's a pitch invasion worthy.
Yeah, that is
moment,
one.
Yeah.
And then obviously we mentioned the Swindon result, beating Crawley 6-0, and Walsall 1, Grimsby Town 1.
Yeah, it's a bit expected.
Yeah. Table. MK Dons top the table on 12 points. Just below them are obviously Gillingham on 12 points. Then Accrington are in third place with 10 points. Then in the playoffs, we have got Notts County on 10 points, AFC Wimbledon, Newport and Mansfield all on 9. 8th place, we have Swindon on 8 points with a game in hand, though. Barrow just below them on 8 points. Then we have Salford, Morecambe, Bradford and Crawley all on 7 points. Crewe, Grimsby, Wrexham, Harrogate all on 6 points. Walsall in 18th spot with 5 points. Stockport and Forest Green both on 4 points. Tranmere and Colchester on 3 points. And then in the relegation, we have Sutton in 23rd on 3 points. And we have Doncaster on 1 point. Right, National League. We have got a double game week. So we'll try and get through these as quick as we can. Rochdale 2, Bromley 2. One of the most frustrating games I have ever witnessed in my life. We were absolutely cruising. And then they had a man sent off. Absolutely fantastic. Then Adam Clayton decided to be really clumsy. He got sent off as well. And just from there, it was just so frustrating. We got a point out of it. Bromley have obviously been picking up points the last few games as well. So I want to say it was a good point, but it wasn't, in my opinion, because we should have put it to bed. We should have won. We should have been able to cruise, obviously, against the 10 men. So, yeah, I think it is point drops for us, but it's still a point at the end of the day. So
It's not easy against 10 men,
it's
though.
not.
Am I right?
That's
Newcastle
true.
fans?
That's true. And then we went down to 10 men as well, but it was honestly one of the most clumsiest challenges. And as soon as he did it, you just thought, why?
Yeah.
Why? But obviously, he's had his ban now and he's back in the side this weekend. So we've got him back for a bit. Solihull Moors won, FC Halifax Town won. Solihull Moors have been on a roll recently. They've been picking up some really good results. They're actually one of my dark horses in this league. They've been doing really well. Southend obviously was the last Friday night match as well. They beat Eastleigh 2-0, which is really good to see, obviously considering their struggles at home as well. So obviously in front of their home fans. Do feel really sorry for Southend. Eastleigh though, when we played them, they didn't look very good. I think they will really struggle in this league. They just don't seem to be anything about them. And even up front, obviously, you'll know him well, Claire, Scott Quigley. When he played us, we had him on loan last season as well, and there was just nothing about him. He looked very lazy. And yeah, you don't really...
I know.
Yeah, you don't really want that as your striking option, really. So, yeah, I think they will struggle. Aldershot 3, Willstone 1. Aldershot have had some really good results recently. I think they'll do well in this league. Altrincham beat Chesterfield, which I think was a really brilliant result.
My friend's playing for Altrincham at the minute, so...
Honestly, Altrincham, they've made some really good signings. I think they're definitely going to be one to watch. They've signed some young players. One we were linked with as well, Regan Linney. He was a striker. I want to say they got him from FC United. I think that was in the January transfer window, and he looks like a really good prospect. He's been scoring goals. So, yeah, especially beating Chesterfield as well. Obviously, they're favourites to win the league, so that's always good. Boreham Wood 0, Oldham Athletic 0. They've been struggling, Oldham, recently. It's a decent point for him. I actually thought Oldham would be up there. I know it's only the first month, so we can't really judge and we can't really obviously fault them at the minute, but I just thought they'd be doing better at the minute, especially considering the players they've signed. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Barnet 0. Dorking and York City was 2 apiece. Ebbsfleet 3, Kidderminster 0. Ebbsfleet have been on a bit of a roll recently. I think they're just below us in the table at the minute. They're in playoffs. They've been winning some games and scoring some, quite a lot of goals. Very attacking team. So they've just come up. So it's been really good for them. Gateshead 1, Woking 3. Maidenhead 0, Oxford City 0, and Hartlepool obviously beating AFC Fylde. Hartlepool have started pretty well. Can't fault them at all. I thought they'd actually struggle earlier on in the season, like I thought we would as well. Obviously, adjusting to a different league. I know Hartlepool have been in there before, but it's all new players. But they have got John Askey, which is a major help as well. He's obviously familiar with the National League, really good manager. But yeah. And then Monday, all 3 o'clock games, AFC Fylde 3, Altrincham 3. A lot of goals in that. Barnet beat Ebbsfleet 3-2. I think Barnet have got a good team together as well. I think they'll be quite up there. Bromley, as I mentioned, played us, picked up the points when needed. They beat Southend 2-1. Chesterfield, Hartlepool, what a game. Honestly, I felt so sorry for Hartlepool fans. They were doing really well. And then obviously, I think it was added time. Chesterfield ended up scoring the winner. So heartbreak for them. But you win some, you lose some. Yeah.
In about 6 minutes or something. I know it was.
Yeah. Absolutely cruising. Eastleigh 3, Aldershot 0. FC Halifax Town 0, Gateshead 0. Halifax have been getting a lot of draws. Kidderminster 0, Maidenhead 0. Oldham lost to Solihull Moors at home. I think Oldham actually had 1 sent off as well. Was always going to be a tough game for them, but I think they should have done better, obviously being at home. But you can't take it from Solihull Moors because, like I said, they've been scoring and they've been winning a lot of games. Oxford City 4, Boreham Wood 0. I didn't expect that. I know Boreham Wood have obviously struggled a bit, but Oxford City, when we played them, they didn't look that good.
Yeah, so that's a good win for them because I thought they just struggled all season.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's their first win, isn't it, in the league? So congratulations to them. Fair play to them. Well done.
That manager at Boreham Wood is really, really good.
Who is the manager at Boreham Wood?
Luke Garrard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was linked with Swindon a lot at one stage.
He seems to have turned down loads of teams.
Yeah.
To want to be their manager, which is quite nice in this day and age.
Yeah, I do really like that. The Wealdstone Raider won't be happy. They got beat by 2 goals at home to Dagenham and Redbridge.
Is he still alive?
I hope so. I want to meet him this season. That's the only reason I'm happy.
If you get to Wembley, Wealdstone and we were in the fan park this year and he turned up.
Love it. I remember, this is a completely different story, right, to this, but it's about the Wealdstone Raider. I remember it was when I was with, obviously, my ex at the time, and we went to Tyson Fury's comeback fight, and he was actually there for Wealdstone Raider. I was absolutely buzzing.
He wasn't on the undercard, was he?
It's earned a load of money off being a meme, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Obviously, Woking beat Dorking 2-0, and York City 1. Rochdale 3. Obviously, I know, great result for us. Obviously, they had 1 sent off. We got penalty again, which I'm absolutely buzzing about because I don't remember us really getting penalties at all. Never mind scoring penalties, but Tyree Sinclair again, doing really well in this league, scoring goals, and Ian Henderson. Beautiful chip, beautiful guy. Absolutely love him. Dale legend, and that's all I've got to say about Ian Henderson. He is my hero. He is a GOAT. Never mind Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Ian Henderson.
I mean, he's doing so well with having the obvious handicap of being 75 as well, to be fair.
I know.
Fair play.
How old is he? About 37?
I'm sure he's about 37, 38. Still got it. And
fair play to him.
I know. The table is Solihull Moors, obviously I mentioned, great start for them, 14 points at the top. We've got Barnet and Chesterfield in second and third on 13 points. Hartlepool just under them on 12. Rochdale are in 5th. I'm getting a nosebleed now. We've never been this high in a very long time. I will take this. I wish the season would just end now. Obviously, Altrincham and Woking just below us on 10 points as well. We've got Ebbsfleet, FC Halifax, Maidenhead all on 9 points. We've got Gateshead in 11th on 8 points. Wheelstone just below them on 8 points. Dagenham and Redbridge in 13th on 7 points, and Aldershot just below them on the same points. We have got Eastleigh, Boreham Wood, Bromley and Kidderminster all on 6 points. Oxford City and Oldham just above the relegation zone on 5 points. And then we have AFC Fylde on 5 points. Dorking, York City on 3 points. And then poor Southend, bless them, on -1 point. Not nice to see at all, is it?
No,
really not nice to see at all.
I still think we'll get out of that, though. I still think we've got
I hope so. I really hope
well
so.
enough, haven't they?
I do.
And that's
it's just whether they manage to pay off that debt, because it's the final time now we're getting any more chances to pay it off.
I completely agree. It's so sad to see. Obviously, we've mentioned it a few times now, and obviously we've been through our own struggles, every one of us on here, haven't we, with our own clubs as well, which it's not nice being a football fan and obviously having that on it. But yeah, I really hope they get out of it. I really do.
I'm not laughing at that. I heard Sam run upstairs and he keeps writing comments like, I just put Fylde in the bottom 4.
Love to see it. Love to see it. But yeah, that's the end of the podcast tonight. We actually flew through that one as well. But I think that's a record in the quickest time. So if Scoops is watching, I'm sure I beat your record. Bless him. He's going to hate me, isn't he, with all these dicks? But thank you so much to everybody in the chat for participating. Thank you all as well for being involved in a football talk. It's always a pleasure, as usual. I just want to let you all know as well that we do have our very own Absolute Football Podcast transfer deadline day tomorrow. We are live from 8:30, and obviously it's going on through the night. Me, Sam and Billy will be on that, and then there's special guest appearances as well. I think you're on it, are you, Anne and Claire as well?
Yeah, I think I'm on about 10 at night, which is going to be fun. Crying over the amount of players we're going to lose. If there's a noose just like here.
We will get the tissues ready. Yeah. We will get the tissues ready. But if anybody wants to keep up with, obviously, the Absolute Football Podcast socials, on Twitter, we are Absolute Ball Pod. TikTok, Absolute Football Pod. Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast _. Facebook, the Absolute Football Podcast. And you can subscribe on our YouTube channel. We have, honestly, loads of cool stuff coming out. But if you want to, obviously, follow these amazing people I've been talking football with, and where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at ant_Waterson. Also host a couple of podcasts. First one is the Waterballic podcast, which is WABA Pod. That's on Twitter. And the How We Are the Lasses podcast, which is Sunderland's only women's fan focused podcast. And we're actually going for an FCA award, content award online. So if anyone wouldn't mind going onto the How We Are the Lasses Pod's pinned tweet, there's a link to get onto the website and vote for us. Just a night out in Manchester would be nice. I don't think we'll win it, but a nice night out in Manchester will do me. Just to get nominated would be great. So yeah, thank you.
Love that. And please make sure you vote as well, like Ant mentioned. Claire, where can everybody find you?
You can get me on Twitter, Claire_Jeffs.
It's always a laugh as well for our little rants, isn't it? About short corners in particular.
Rely on you to just see it and reply to it.
I know.
And know that I'm not on my own.
Love it. And if anybody wants more, Nick, where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter on Ocus_road, and also I do the Fools Rush In podcast, which is a Monday night and a Friday night. So I think they're doing a deadline day special, but I won't be doing that because I'm off on my hollybobs. So I'm off on holiday tomorrow.
Nice. I hope you have a lovely
nice time.
So do I. Weather forecast is looking up, so hopefully it'll be good.
Where are you
Are
going?
you anywhere nice, Nick?
Where am I going? God, I forgot the name of
Always going on.
it. Down south, Dorset.
Oh, I love it.
Lyme Regis, I'm going. That's it.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Yeah, never
nice.
been there before, which is why I couldn't bring the name to mind. So yeah, so we got a week day there, so hopefully the weather will be decent.
Oh, I love that. Hope you have a lovely time.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to find me, I don't know why you'd want to, because all I do is talk about Rochdale. I just retweet random stuff that I find funny. But if you want to follow me, I'm SharXRAFC, and that's on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even though I don't know what I'm doing on Threads, and TikTok. And if you want to keep up to date on my Rochdale Her Game 2 stuff, it is actually our dedicated fixture this Saturday against FC Halifax Town. So there'll be a lot of cool stuff going on there. And that's Rochdale HGT, and that's on Twitter and it's on Instagram. So please, please, please follow that, because there's some brilliant stuff we've got planned. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for everyone in the chat. I can't name you all because there is too many of you, but you're all really brilliant. But ta-ta for now and have a lovely weekend. Bye, everybody.